Hey everyone, welcome to the video. In this video, I will discuss Facebook ads budget allocation. Basically, there are two types of budget allocation in Facebook ad campaigns, and I'm going to talk about both of them. I'm going to cover what they are, how they work, and also which one is suitable for you. So let's go to our ad account. This is my ad account. What we need to do is we need to create a new campaign. Let's say we want to create a campaign for leads, but the budget allocation system applies to all the other objectives as well. So I'm going to select leads, and once I select leads, there's a setting here. As you can see, it says budget. Now, the first type of allocation is on the campaign level. Let's say this is my campaign. I allocate 25 quid to this campaign, and I say I will have 3 ad sets. So this 25 quid will be distributed among those 3 ad sets. Ad set is where we define the goals, where we're gonna run the ads, the location, all the other stuff, the targeting. So if we have 3 ad sets, this £25 will be spread across those 3. But if we do ad set budget, Facebook lets us allocate budget to the ad set. So let's say now we have 3 ad sets. Now in each ad set, we'll have to give a separate budget, because if I now come to the ad set, as you can see, the budget setting has moved here, where if I had it here like campaign budget, it would not let me select a budget here. So these are the 2 types of budget allocations. Now I'll talk about how they why it's like that and how they work. So let me go to my slide. Okay, so let's try to understand. Here we have a campaign, here we have another campaign. Both these campaigns have $30 budget, right? So this one is running on ABO, which is ad set budget optimization, where we define the budget on the ad set, not on the campaign. So if I have a $30 budget for the campaign, each ad set will have $10 budget, right? We have 3 ad sets, we have $10 per ad set, that's 30, right? The campaign won't be spending more than $30. Now, in terms of, delivery, when the ads under each ad set are being promoted or are being delivered to certain audience, they will have the same spend. Like Facebook will spend $10 for ad set 1, $10 for ad set 2, $10 for ad set 3. If on the campaign budget, so if you define the budget on the campaign level, what happens is you give it $30 and basically tell Facebook that, okay, here's $30, spend it however you like. Now, based on the health, based on the quality of each ad set, based on the audience of each ad set, Facebook will decide itself which one to spend more on, which ad set to spend less on, stuff like that. So this one has 3 ad sets. This ad set 1 has only spent $3. The second one has spent $7. The third one has spent $20. Now, this may happen because of audience. This may happen because of the ad quality. This may happen because of any kind of policy violations, a lot of things. So if you are testing different stuff on the, on which one to use, you need to understand a bit more about how these things work. Let me go to the next one. So when to use ABO? ABO means ad set budget optimization, where you define the budget on the ad set level. When you're testing multiple audiences, so basically you have 3 ad sets and you have 3 different types of audience in each ad set. Now, when you want to do that, you want to give equal budget to all these ad sets and see how they perform. The best performing one will be your winning audience, right? Now, next thing, you want a strict control over ad spend. So sometimes we want to test different creatives or, do something on ad sets where we want the ad set to spend a certain amount. You want strict control over each ad set and your overall spend. In that case, you want to do ad set budget optimization. Also, if you're doing short-term campaigns like for 30 days or something, there's nothing to test, there's no CBO to do. So in that case, you'll do ad set budget optimization. Small budgets or isolated geo tests, again, different locations, different geo targeting. If you want to do on ad set 1, if you want to do broad, if you want to do on ad set 2 detailed targeting. This third one could be a custom audience or retargeting. You can test that kind of stuff using ABO, right? So that's when you want to use ABO. What about CBO, where you define the budget on the campaign level and ask Facebook to spend however it wants to spend it on the ad sets that you have? You want Meta to auto optimize. So you don't want to take over the ad spend or how it's going to be spent on the campaign. You want Meta to decide that. You've already tested your audience. So when you are done testing your audiences, that's really important, guys. If you're testing your audience, always go with ABO, because if you don't allocate the budget on the ad set level, Facebook's just going to go with the best performing audience first, and then, you know, it's going to be messed up. It won't have enough room to test your audience. That's why you want to go with ABO if you want to target test your audience. Scaling successful ad sets. Again, if you have already tested your audience and now you want to test the ads creatives, then you want to go with CBO. Basically, you have now 3 ad sets. Every ad set has the same audience, like all 3 ad sets have the same audience. Now you want to just upload different creatives under each ad set and see how they perform. And whichever one has the best result in terms of ad spend, in terms of cost per result, in terms of frequency, and all the other metrics, that one will be the winning one. So that's how you test that's how you test ad creatives using CBO. Long-term or evergreen campaigns. If you want to do a long-term campaign where you're just refreshing the ad creatives, keeping the same audience, then use CBO. Now, when to use ABO, when to use CBO, you know, that's a really huge conversation. But what we do is we do a combination. So let's say we have a chiropractor clinic that where we want to test 4 local audiences using ABO. So like I said, whenever we test audience, we use ABO. We do the same budget on each ad set and see which one best performs. That's how we find out which one is the best performing audience. Now, once we have the best performing audience, and that's based on a lot of factors like cost per result, reach, impressions, and also how much the spend was, the lead quality, and all those stuff. After we decide, let's say, for example, audience 2 performed the best based on all these results. Then what we need to do is we need to do a new campaign using CBO with audience 2 in it, right? So we will create 2 or 3 ad sets with the same audience, and then another ad set could be a lookalike to scale the results. Now, scaling results means testing creatives. Now we know our audience. Now we need to see which creative or which type of creative or which variation of the creatives best perform, among the others. So that's how we do a combination. First, we do ABO to find out the audience, and then we do CBO to find out the creatives and the other factors. So this is how we use CBO and ABO in our Facebook ad campaigns. Hope this was useful. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.